Glaciers, vast rivers of ice, are among nature's most awe-inspiring creations. These frozen giants, holding within them stories of millennia past, are crucial to our planet's health. They are not merely static landscapes, they are dynamic systems, constantly moving, shaping, and influencing the world around them. Glaciers play a vital role in regulating global climate and sustaining life on Earth. Imagine standing before a glacier, its icy surface glistening under the sun. The immensity of these formations evokes a sense of wonder and humility. Their meltwater feeds rivers and lakes, providing a vital source of fresh water for countless communities and ecosystems downstream. They influence ocean currents and sea levels, playing a crucial role in regulating global climate patterns. Understanding glaciers, their formation, their significance, and the threats they face is crucial for appreciating the delicate balance of our planet. By recognizing their importance, we can work towards ensuring their preservation for generations to come. Glaciers form over centuries, the result of a simple yet powerful process. Snow accumulates, compresses under its own weight, and transforms into ice. This process, repeated over time, gives birth to these colossal rivers of ice. However, not all glaciers are created equal. There are two main types of glaciers: alpine glaciers and ice sheets. Alpine glaciers form on mountainsides, flowing down valleys, carving out the landscape as they move. These glaciers create some of the world's most dramatic landscapes, from towering peaks to deep fjords. Ice sheets, like those covering Greenland and Antarctica, are vast, covering thousands of square kilometers. They hold the majority of the world's freshwater ice, playing a critical role in regulating global sea levels and climate. Understanding these different types of glaciers is crucial for understanding their diverse roles in shaping the planet. Glaciers are nature's sculptors, patiently carving and shaping the Earth's surface over millennia. Their slow, relentless movement, driven by gravity and the sheer weight of ice, leaves an indelible mark on the landscape. As glaciers advance, they carve out valleys, sharpen peaks, and leave behind a trail of glacial debris. The U-shaped valleys, carved by the immense weight of the ice, are a testament to their erosive power. These valleys, often dotted with lakes and waterfalls, are a direct result of glacial activity. The debris carried by glaciers, ranging in size from fine silt to massive boulders, is deposited as the ice melts, creating unique landforms. Moraines, long ridges of glacial debris, mark the edges of past glacial advances, providing clues to the history of these icy giants. The meltwater from glaciers feeds rivers and lakes, influencing erosion patterns and shaping downstream ecosystems. The sediment carried by glacial meltwater contributes to the fertility of soils, influencing vegetation patterns and supporting diverse ecosystems. Thus, the influence of glaciers extends far beyond their icy domains, shaping and sustaining life across the globe. Glaciers, often perceived as barren and lifeless, play a surprising role in supporting life on Earth. Their meltwater, rich in nutrients, nourishes downstream ecosystems, supporting a web of life from microscopic organisms to large mammals. The cold, clear streams and rivers fed by glacial meltwater are home to unique species of fish and invertebrates adapted to survive in these challenging conditions. These species, often found nowhere else on Earth, rely on the cold, oxygen-rich waters provided by glaciers. The surrounding vegetation, too, benefits from the constant supply of meltwater, creating lush oases in otherwise arid environments. Mountain goats and sheep rely on glaciers for their survival, using the icy slopes for refuge from predators and the surrounding meadows for grazing. The seasonal movements of these animals are often dictated by the advance and retreat of glaciers, highlighting the interconnectedness of these ecosystems. Changes in glacial extent can alter river flows, affecting the availability of water for downstream communities and ecosystems. The loss of glaciers can lead to habitat loss for specialized species, disrupting the delicate balance of these fragile environments. Glaciers play a critical role in the global water cycle, acting as massive freshwater reservoirs. They store vast amounts of precipitation, releasing it slowly over time, regulating the flow of rivers and influencing sea levels. This vital role in the water cycle highlights their significance in sustaining life on Earth and regulating global climate patterns. Imagine glaciers as giant banks, storing water in the form of ice during periods of high precipitation and releasing it gradually as meltwater during warmer periods. The steady supply of meltwater ensures a reliable source of fresh water for drinking, irrigation, and industry for millions of people worldwide. The meltwater from glaciers eventually makes its way to the ocean, contributing to global sea level rise. As temperatures rise due to climate change, the rate of glacial melt increases, exceeding the rate of snowfall and ice formation. This imbalance leads to a net loss of ice from glaciers, contributing to rising sea levels and threatening coastal communities worldwide. Understanding the role of glaciers in the global water cycle is crucial for addressing the challenges posed by climate change. Climate change, driven by human activities, poses a significant threat to glaciers worldwide. The rising global temperatures are causing glaciers to melt at an alarming rate, with far-reaching consequences for ecosystems, water resources, and global climate patterns. The delicate balance between snowfall, which replenishes glaciers, and melt, which shrinks them, is being disrupted by rising temperatures. As global temperatures increase, glaciers are experiencing more melt days and fewer days of snowfall. This imbalance tips the scales towards melting, leading to a net loss of ice from glaciers worldwide. As glaciers shrink, they release water into rivers, initially increasing water flow. However, as glaciers continue to melt at accelerated rates, this increased flow becomes unsustainable, ultimately leading to water scarcity in the long run. The melting of glaciers also contributes to rising sea levels, threatening coastal communities and ecosystems worldwide. The added water from melting glaciers, combined with the expansion of seawater as it warms, is causing sea levels to rise at an accelerating rate. The Earth's climate is changing, and glaciers are bearing the brunt of this change. The increase in global temperatures, primarily driven by the burning of fossil fuels, is causing glaciers to melt at an unprecedented rate. This melting is not a slow, gradual process, but a rapid acceleration with visible consequences for glaciers around the world. As the Earth's atmosphere traps more heat due to the greenhouse effect, this heat warms the surface of glaciers, leading to increased melting. This melting is further exacerbated by other factors, such as changes in precipitation patterns and the deposition of soot and dust on glacial surfaces, which darken the ice and absorb more solar radiation, accelerating melting. In mountainous regions, glacial melt provides a vital source of fresh water for communities downstream. However, as glaciers shrink and disappear, this water source is becoming increasingly unreliable, leading to water shortages and conflicts over scarce resources. The melting of glaciers, particularly the massive ice sheets of Greenland and Antarctica, is a major contributor to global sea level rise. This rise in sea level threatens low-lying coastal communities and islands around the world, increasing the risk of flooding, erosion, and saltwater intrusion into freshwater sources. The melting of glaciers is not an isolated event. It's a domino effect with far-reaching consequences for the entire planet. The loss of these massive ice formations disrupts ecosystems, alters weather patterns, and poses significant challenges to human societies. One of the most immediate consequences of glacial melt is the disruption of water resources. Glaciers act as natural reservoirs, storing water during periods of high precipitation and releasing it gradually throughout the year. This steady flow of meltwater is crucial for downstream communities and ecosystems that rely on it for drinking water, irrigation, and hydropower. As glaciers shrink, this steady flow becomes erratic, leading to water shortages during dry seasons and increased flooding during periods of heavy rain. The loss of glaciers also contributes to rising sea levels, posing a significant threat to coastal communities and ecosystems worldwide. As glaciers melt, they release billions of tons of water into the ocean, causing sea levels to rise. This rise in sea level increases the risk of coastal erosion, flooding, and saltwater intrusion into freshwater sources, displacing millions of people and devastating coastal ecosystems. The evidence is clear: glaciers are melting at an alarming rate, and the consequences of this melt are far-reaching and potentially catastrophic. The urgency of the situation demands immediate and decisive action to mitigate the impacts of climate change and protect these vital components of our planet's ecosystem. Every fraction of a degree of warming avoided can make a significant difference in the fate of glaciers and the future of our planet. The longer we wait to address the root causes of climate change, the more severe and irreversible the consequences will be. The need for immediate action is not a matter of political ideology or economic expediency. It's a matter of survival for countless species, including our own. The future of our planet and the well-being of generations to come depends on the choices we make today. The good news is that we have the knowledge, the technology, and the resources to address this challenge. What's needed now is the collective will and the global cooperation to implement the solutions at scale. Protecting glaciers is not just the responsibility of scientists or policymakers. It's a collective responsibility that requires the participation of every individual. Reducing our carbon footprint is the most impactful action we can take. By transitioning to renewable energy sources, improving energy efficiency, adopting sustainable transportation methods, and supporting policies that promote these changes, we can collectively reduce the greenhouse gas emissions that drive climate change. Beyond individual actions, we can amplify our impact by advocating for change at a larger scale. By supporting businesses and organizations committed to sustainability, engaging in political processes, and raising awareness within our communities, we can create a ripple effect that extends far beyond our individual actions. Educating ourselves and others about the importance of glaciers and the threats they face is crucial for inspiring action. By sharing our knowledge, engaging in meaningful conversations, and promoting a greater understanding of the interconnectedness of our planet, we can foster a sense of shared responsibility and inspire collective action. Remember, every action counts. The fate of glaciers hangs in the balance, a stark reminder of the profound impact human activities have on our planet. These icy giants, once symbols of permanence and grandeur, are now rapidly disappearing, their decline a harbinger of the broader consequences of climate change. The question remains, can we act in time to secure a future for glaciers? The answer lies in our collective response to the climate crisis. The future of glaciers, and indeed the health of our planet, hinges on our willingness to embrace sustainable practices, transition to a low-carbon economy, and mitigate the impacts of climate change. We have the knowledge, the tools, and the ingenuity to chart a different course, to rewrite the narrative of climate change, and secure a future where glaciers continue to grace our planet. The time for action is now.